Right. So I have to talk about this because it's it's a pattern that comes up not only with my clients, but it's coming up for me in my own life right now. And it has to do with how easy it is to think that we're much farther behind than we actually are in our evolutionary process when we have just gone through an up level. And what I mean by an up level is we've actually just grown our nervous system bandwidth. We're actually operating at a more evolved level in our life. We've finally actually accessed a resource that we've been longing for a long time. We finally connected those neural pathways ways. We finally, learned, oh, I've been looking for my whole life for this thing and it's finally showed up. And now we're learning to implement it and we're learning to live life at this new level and we're learning to live life with this new template, whether it be a new level of health in our body, a new level of relational capacity and skill, a new level of business capacity and skill. In my case, that's the thing that I'm integrating. And it's like, holy moly, I'm suddenly having tons of learning that I'm like literally ending every day, like really exhausted because of the amount of information, not just information for my brain in the form of thoughts, but like information that my nervous system has to metabolize around a skill set that I didn't have before. I didn't have access to, I didn't have mentors in until relatively recently in my life. Um, and so when we are starting to implement it, there can be like a similar honeymoon phase when we first find it, just like when you first meet someone that you're dating or um, when you first, yeah, whatever the thing is that you like, oh my gosh, like I just found this. There's like an initial excitement, lots of dopamine and adrenaline, and oh my gosh, Um, and then there's the learning how to sustain and have a long-term relationship with the new level of life at which you're living, just as you want to develop a long-term sustainable relationship with people in your life, with clients, and with yourself, right? Because that is what a regulated nervous system supports, and also in terms of health and healing, it gets you out of that roller coaster of chronic illness and it helps you start to kind of connect the dots of why you're having such high highs and low lows. The point I want to make is that if you're in the phase after the honeymoon and you're starting to feel kind of tired or afraid that maybe like, oh my gosh, I could burn out. And I haven't burned. I've been like in my case, I've worked so hard to come back from burnout. I learned so much about how to not be in burnout. And then once I come into my new level, I'm like, holy moly, I feel like I'm going back there again. It's pressing against my edge. It's reminding me of the overwhelm and all of the it evokes some of the same mm, triggers of trauma from my past. And there's something about being on the growth journey that kind of necessarily touches up against that. Now, you don't obviously want to do it to press against it too much because you'll re-traumatize yourself. But it's good to have a certain amount of pushing up against that because that means that you're growing. And of course, in the work that I do and in the nervous system awareness work, we work around how to be in the right thresholded relationship with that edge so that it can we can grow our courage and our resource and our pleasure and our sense of purpose and meaning along with being at that edge so that we're not sort of uh, uh, overspilling our threshold too much, our capacity too much. But we're also meeting it right there, and we're kind of in those critical moments when there's an opportunity to grow our bandwidth. We're getting the proper support in order to uh, really, really take it to the next level and really like land it and really feel the satisfaction of that. So I just wanted to say, and one of the things that can happen is that also, if we're finally getting a resource, think about it this way. If you've been really thirsty or really hungry and you've been in the desert and you've walked for miles and you finally come upon a salt lick or a watering hole, you are you're going to be like, oh my God, you're going to like want to eat it up and drink it up, naturally because you've been in a state of survival. And when you're looking to build sustainable resources, um, it's one little tip I'll leave you with is that if you really have up leveled, meaning you haven't just found like a fleeting coping mechanism, a fleeting strategy to satiate you for a moment that's going to go away again in an insecure attachment kind of way or a unreliable kind of way, but you really have found a resource that's really there for you, that's really steady and showing up regularly and who you trust, you can pause and sink in and let yourself like land. Oh, this is different. Like, this is not, I have to hurry up and fill up because I'm going back into the desert for 100 more miles. But like, you can pause and orient and recognize, hey, like, I'm here now. Like, I've finished this trek. I'm entering a new landscape. And when I look at the landscape, I see, oh, the water kind of goes along the path now for quite a while. So, um, yeah, maybe right at the beginning there might be an impulse to like drink a bunch, but like, I'm showing my nervous system, I'm talking to myself, I'm parenting myself. Uh, um, this resource is here to stay. Like we can kind of settle into this experience together. Settle into the saddle is a phrase I like to say. Settle into the saddle of the journey. So I hope this helps you. If you have found that your life is coming to a point at which you actually are entering a whole nother template, a whole nother level, and you're feeling that temptation to like desperately like get it all out or get it all in or do all the things really fast, maybe pause and realize like, don't worry. Yes, you'll get to do the things. Yes, you'll get to have it. Yes, you can receive all, take it in and share. And but also like if it really is a new chapter for you, like you get to just like let it play out and um and you are being partnered with in this new level of your life because whatever we cultivate inside ourselves that up levels, so does that up level outside of ourselves. There's a new level of being met by life. So make sure that you're also receiving on a similar level to which you are giving, to which you are putting yourself out there. And if you are really receiving at another level, enjoy it. Like, settle into the saddle. For me, I invested in a year-long business program for wellness professionals, and it's been kind of wild trying, like, learning so much so quickly in just a couple of months. I have to pause and tell myself, oh, yeah, I have access to these resources for at least a whole year. That's what I've invested in. I've invested in something long term. And so I get to slow down and really let it sink in the slow way. It's not always better when it's slower. There's a perfect timing and pace for everything. It's not better to be slow or fast. Although oftentimes the trajectory tends to be too fast in our culture, but there are lots of too slow situations in our culture as well. There's a just right size, there's a Goldilocks size and speed. And the relationship between you and the thing that is working you or that you are working in your life is more important than measuring the speed of it is measuring the relationship. How does it feel? Does it give your nervous system a sense of flow? A sense of both being met and also a sense of being guided forward into your courage, into your expansion, into your evolution, and just the right amount of both. So I hope that helps some of you. It's definitely helping me because I don't know about you, but this year is like what? Such a big up level. Lots is happening, and I hope you're taking good care out there.